Welcome to PS3 Gamer Nation.
This is PS3 Gamer Nation, for gamers, by gamers, reviewing only PlayStation 3 games from disc to downloaded. I'm Sean McCoy.
And I'm Byron Racky. Today we're taking a look at Grand Theft Auto 4 by Rockstar Games. This game is rated M for mature. Now let's take a closer look at Grand Theft Auto 4.
Now, on to the review.
In Grand Theft Auto 4, there's a character, Niko Bellic, coming to America to visit his cousin Roman, only to find out that Liberty City is not the city that Roman has cracked it up to be. Turns out it's full of crime and drugs and guns. Well, what do you think of the graphics?
Well, with a seemingly endless 3D city modeled to look like New York, with lifelike character renderings and a large assortment of recognizable vehicles, the cutscene cinematics are like watching a movie. Everything in the game looks great, especially when you consider the size of the environment. I gave the graphics 10 out of 10. What did you think?
Well, the character models are pretty good, especially in cutscenes. Really outstanding work was done with the cutscenes video. Liberty City looks great again with all the distinct buildings and areas of town. Plus, it's full of activity with all walks of life. There are a few glitches here and there when walking around, like when you're walking on stairs or dealing with heights, but it's just being a little nitpicky. The natural environment like the sun and other sources of light, like street lights, are well done. Though, when I am using my cell phone and it is sunny, I just cannot make out anything on there. This is a major drawback, and I give it an 8 out of 10. Now with audio, having the background music being the output from the car radio while you drive is still a really cool idea. There is a wide variety of music genres available on radio stations. The sound effects are all the different vehicles and weapons are well done, and I give it an 8 out of 10. What do you say?
Oh, I thought the voice acting in this game is amazing. With hours of dialogue from dozens of characters, it adds realism to the experience. There are tons of licensed music tracks on the radio stations when you're driving a vehicle. There's great engine noise from the vehicles and realistic sounds from all the weapons. There's good chatter from the crowds as you walk through the city, dirty talk from the hookers you pick up, hilarious talk on the radio and TV stations in the game. I gave the audio a 10 out of 10. The gameplay is solid, the controls are numerous but easy to learn, and camera angles are good thanks to added camera control with the right analog stick. There are a lot of different elements to the game like running, jumping, swimming, shooting, hand-to-hand combat, driving, and flying helicopters. And all of these elements are handled well in the game. I gave the gameplay a 10 out of 10. What did you think about gameplay?
Well, I am so glad that there is GPS turn-by-turn navigation for getting around the city. At first, it was very easy to get lost or plain out head in the wrong direction entirely. The missions grow in difficulty with you throughout the game. The controls when driving are more realistic than ever before for any other Grand Theft Auto series game. I especially love it when I'm driving at night in stormy weather and the lightning bolt strikes across in the distance and the controller shakes from the thunder. This is such a great touch for realism. Being a great game to play, I really enjoyed this one, and I give it an 8 out of 10. Now as for multiplayer online, I actually enjoyed playing this multiplayer online. The sandbox style of multiplayer is a great change in pace for the main solo game. Being able to fight other players online is great, and shooting at random characters without having to deal with the crime level rating stuff is a fantastic experience. I recommend it, and I rate it 6 out of 10. Now what do you say?
Well, I say the heart of this game is definitely the single-player experience. There are some multiplayer online elements, but no one seemed to be playing them on the network. I gave the multiplayer 6 out of 10. As far as replay value goes, there's a lot to do in the game aside from the main storyline. such as stealing cars, delivering packages, winning races, stopping crimes when you have the police car. When the game ends after you watch the credits, you're still able to play the game, although there's not much point in doing this unless you're one of those die-hard people that wants to get the 100% completion rate. I gave Replay a 7 out of 10. What did you think?
I may not need to mention this, but for those who are not familiar with Grand Theft Auto series, this is an open game. And with that being said, the replay value category really hits home for me. I was about 20% through the game when I was informed that I was required to restart the whole game fresh to be able to collect the trophies. I noticed with all the missions to do in the game that there is a set series you must complete before going on to the next one. I didn't mind this the first time through this game, but on the second time, I was used to having access to features like guns and the second island. In my opinion, once you finish this game, you really don't have a need to play this again. And I give it a 4 out of 10 for replay value. Now as for a final comment, this is quite a solid game to say the least here. Even though I mentioned that there isn't a whole lot of incentive to play again when you're done, it still has to be said that you will enjoy this game. What's your final comments?
I would say buy it. If you're a fan of the series or just looking for a great game with lots of shooting and driving elements, you won't be disappointed. My final score for Grand Theft Auto 4 is 9 out of 10.
And mine is 7 out of 10. Thank you for checking out our podcast. You can visit us at ps3gamernation.com. Be sure to check out our podcast, our blog, or a little bit about the reviewers, Sean and Byron. Be sure to email us at ps3gamernation@gmail.com and be part of the Gamer Nation. Because it's gamers for gamers. Until next time, this is PS3 Gamer Nation.